Yes. What is in your hand? Orange. This is orange. Now first we are washing the fruits. Now we are going to put all the fruits here. Yes. We have orange. Nara, open. Open the orange. We have kiwis.
I have kiwis.
Yes. Now cut your apple here. Can you please cut it? Where is your knife? Cut it, put it here. Yes. And now close the tap. Good job. We have cup also. Cup and we have apricot. And we have grapes also. Yummy fruits. Yes, we have apple. You like it? Good job, apple. Where is the watermelon? Mara, where is the watermelon? Yes, put it here. Good job.
Hello.
Are you eating all the fruits? Where is your plate? Good job. Fruits, only fruits. Nada. Fruits रख देते हैं पहले हम इसमें. Yes, put fruits. Nara, okay, so let's wash all your fruits. Put all the fruits here.
What is this?
Yes. We have kiwis. Now put all your plates here.
Wait.
Yes.
Noise reduction. Then you can adjust the sliders as you wish, but I usually keep the options to default. Then hit OK. The second way to clean your audio is to zoom out on Audacity and delete any big empty spaces shown on the audio. But that's easy. Zoom back in and listen to your entire audio and delete any bad takes. Yes, you have to listen to your own voice. I know it feels weird and no, it hasn't gotten better for me. Also, trim out any breathers, pauses, and any long unrelated tangents you might have gotten through. In my videos be cut off randomly, and that's because I'm stitching together the best takes. Some takes may be better in one half, but terrible in the other half. I wish I could be so good that I don't need takes, but it's gonna be a while. Third is using Amplify. I use Amplify to raise or lower the volume of my audio. My voice is always too quiet, so I just select the entire audio and amplify it until it's good and loud. De-essing. Essing is a yucky, loud, high-pitched sound that hurts my ears but always happens when I say it. And there's definitely better ways than how I do it. For me, I comb through my entire audio for any annoying S's. And I select the S, go to Effect, then Amplify, and I usually put it around -5 so that the S isn't so loud. Great job! You've cleaned up your voice. Go through your entire audio again to double check that you've edited everything. You can add audio distortions to increase variation in your voice and make your video more interesting, such as adding echo, reverb,
lowering the pitch,
or raising the speed. Adding music. Here's my music collection board. Back in university, I took a class called Film Music, where we learned the purpose of certain musics in certain films. The music we use in YouTube videos is usually considered non-diegetic music. Non-diegetic music is background music that the characters in the video do not hear, but what the viewers do hear. It serves solely as a benefit for the viewer. Diegetic music is music that the characters do hear, like this boy playing his ukulele and singing. Leitmotifs are basically melodies representing an important person, place, or thing that repeatedly occur in the story. Having leitmotifs can increase the emotional impact of your story using familiarity. When looking for music, make sure it is copyright-free, uncopyrighted, or non-copyrighted. The correct term is having a Creative Commons license that gives the user permission to use the song. Free music can be found by simply searching it up. I used the MuleNote web clipper to insert all of these links. I found this Reddit post that contains a list of websites that people can use to find uncopyrighted music. Another place could be SoundCloud, but of course you have to check if you're allowed to use the song you chose. No Copyright Sounds is another choice, and I think you have to credit them. I usually find my music on YouTube. I tend to use music produced by Nintendo because those are usually copyright free. Toby Fox music is great non-diegetic music too. Another one is classical music made from the classical times. Finding uncopyrighted music is a lifetime task for all video editors. I immediately save it directly to a playlist because good ones can be hard to To figure out if a song is copyrighted, go to several videos containing the same song and go to the description. If there's a section that says music and contains the song and the creator of the song you want to use, well, if you use it, you can't monetize your video, that's for sure. Of course, you can maybe pay some artists for a license to use their music. It's good to support musicians, but it's not within my budget at the moment. Sound effects! This is my sound effects collection board. Sound effects are helpful in making your videos more interactive. But this one story is, hands down, the most embarrassing experience. While I record myself recording my audio, here are some things you should probably do before you record. First, check that your microphone is fully tested and works well in Audacity. When you start recording, don't say anything. Shut up! Be quiet for at least 5 to 10 seconds because you'll use this later in editing out background noise from your audio. As you record, if you have an unreliable voice like mine, you'll have to do multiple takes. No, it's not AI and
no, I'm not using a voice changer.
What I mean is, everything you hear is fully scripted and heavily edited. Other people, like those commentary channels, can just turn on a mic and simply speak into it. They're so easily entertaining. But not me. Everything has to be written down first because I can't think of things in my mind and have it come out of my mouth. my mouth coherently. Luckily, with videos, I can edit out any imperfections so that my voice is more tolerable, and I'll show you exactly how. First, you can also do this on Roblox, where you hover over a game and a meal notes icon will appear. You can keep a whole collection of Roblox games in one board. How cool is that? When I move back to my meal notes warm-up board, the link is provided to the side. You can save multiple websites too. Here are tongue twisters I pasted from different websites using meal notes web clipper. I also kept my favorite twisters into notes so that it's easily accessible. Another thing I do for voice warm-up is singing. I don't sing, but my family does. A lot. Filipinos love
trick that I did there to make it more compelling. So the trick is that my sequence begins with close-up shots and then it moves to the wide shots. So there is a couple of things why this works, but there is also one or something to keep in mind when doing this. So first thing why this works is because you can see the environment right away. You maybe can see what's going on in the scene or in the room. You start wondering this trick, and don't just film close-up shots because it will start to look weird and feel weird. Always shoot at least one establishing wide shot for your scene or sequence what you are shooting. That's how you can tell for your audience where the scene is happening, what's going on, and there is not too much confusion in your visual storytelling. That's for all now. Thanks for your time, and I really hope that you found this helpful for the story. And now you are making this kind of impression that everything what you see in those close-up shots are somehow important things, and this makes your audience follow your story much more carefully because they don't want to miss anything crucial. So that's why building your shots going from very close-up shots to wide shots is a very effective way to catch your audience attention immediately. Before you go, there is one thing to keep in mind when and where things are going. For example, if this scene would start with the wide shot, you can just see that I'm just sitting in the room and there is not so much going on. So there is one very simple and easy storytelling trick that I use to make my videos more interesting. The best part is that you can do it also right away. So I hope you found that sequence or scene interesting, because now
Orange bus is great, driving slow and steady. Buster time for you. I wonder if you're ready. It's school time, school time. Hey, 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 what are you gonna learn at school today? Buster, Buster, learning is so fun. Hear the school bell ring. This is, he really ought to hurry. It's school time, school time. Hey, 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 what are you gonna learn at school today? Buster, concentrate. You're in class, but you keep watching Robin as he flies past. It's school time, school time. Hey, 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 what are you gonna learn at school today?
Go, Buster!
It's school time, school time. Hey, 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 what are you gonna learn at school today? Buster's late for school. He doesn't seem to worry. The teacher won't be pleased.
मिला नदी तो सागर लहरा, नाप न पाके कितना गहरा। बोल मेरी मछली कितना पानी, बोल मेरी मछली कितना पानी। हरा समंदर गोपी चंदर, बोल मेरी मछली कितना पानी। हरा समंदर नदी में नाला जाकर, अब उमड़ी नदिया उफना कर। बोल मेरी मछली कितना पानी, कमर कम तक गहरा पानी। बोल मेरी मछली कितना पानी।
That's great, Maria. Yesterday, I learned that you should always ask before playing with someone else's things. Wow, Peter, how did you learn that? Well, let me tell you. Dee came over to play with me after school. We colored in some coloring books. I colored a picture of a whale, and I named him Francis.
Keeping her hands to herself. I said that it's not nice to touch other people without asking first. She said she was sorry, and she didn't know that it bothered me. And then she promised to keep her hands to herself from now on. She wanted to make it a pinky promise, but she asked me if it was okay first. And I gladly said yes.
Oh, now I understand what it means to keep your hands to yourself.
Peter, she said, it wasn't nice of you to draw on my picture without asking first. It belongs to me, and you should have asked before you play with my picture. I thought about how I would feel if someone had drawn on my whale picture. I would have been sad too. I learned it's not nice to play with other people's things without asking. So I apologized. She colored a picture of a dog, and she said it was the best one she'd ever colored. She was so proud of it. She wanted to take a photo of the dog she colored, so she got up to her camera. I looked at her picture and I thought I was missing something. Look, Dee, I drew a bone for your dog, I said. But Dee, she was sad. She didn't want me to draw.
You took her? Why? I didn't think it would be a problem. You've always let me borrow your things before. Oh, I wish you'd asked first, Maria. Not knowing where my doll was really had me worried. I know, Dee. I promise to always ask you if I can borrow things from now on. Thanks, Maria. And I promise to ask you too.
Dee, I'm sorry, Dee, I said. I don't want to make you sad. I promise to always ask you before playing with your things. Thank you, Peter, Dee said. After I promised to ask Dee before playing with her things, we had a lot of fun.
Wow, Peter, that was a good promise to make. You should always ask before you play with other people's things.
Yeah.
You mean you just took it?
Of course, she lets me borrow her stuff all the time.
Maria, there's a big difference between borrowing and stealing.
I didn't steal it.
Did you ask her if you could take her doll?
No.
Even if she lets you borrow things, you should always ask before you take anything. It's the right thing to do. And it's what friends...
I don't want to be tickled. And then in class, she touched my hairband without asking me. She said she wanted to feel it, but she didn't ask me first. She just did it. And then, when we played in the sandbox after school, she wanted to borrow my shovel. She just took it from me without asking first. She didn't keep her hands to herself all day.
What did you do?
Well, I told Maria that she wasn't
and not pushing or shoving. I always like to pretend that I'm standing inside an invisible cone. It helps me to remember to keep my hands to myself and not to crowd my friends. When you push people, it's rude, and you can accidentally hurt someone too. So remember, when we get in line, we never push. We stay inside our imaginary cone. Okay, I'll see you again soon when we learn about another great classroom.
He was so rude to everyone that no one wanted to be his friend. When you're on the playground, you should always wait your turn in line, be nice to everyone, and share with other kids who want to play with you.
Everyone on the playground has more fun when you play nice together.
Yeah. Do you know when I have the most fun? When we play hide and seek.
Yeah!
Knew. Being a princess wasn't just about wearing pretty dresses or living in a castle. Being a princess was about being kind, helpful, and true of heart. And as she snuggled against her father, feeling his strong arms holding her close, Sophia knew that even though her life had changed a lot since she became a princess, one thing had stayed the same: the love between a father and his little girl. They stayed in the library reading stories until it was time for bed. And one day, a handsome prince wandered into her village. Though he was everything she'd ever dreamed of, the girl didn't just swoon over his looks. She saw how kindly he treated an old woman and how gently he petted a stray cat. When their eyes met, the prince didn't just compliment her on her beauty. He asked her about her dreams and goals. And when they went for a walk in the meadow, he listened patiently while she poured out her heart. Soon, it wasn't just, "Greetings, Sophia," she said in a tinkling voice. "I am your fairy godmother. For being such a kind and helpful princess, I am here to grant you a wish." Sophia hesitated. Usually, a wish from a fairy godmother meant flowers that talked or dresses that sparkled. But she had something much more important in mind. "Oh, fairy godmother, I wish for my papa to feel better. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand. As you wish. Then with a swirl of skirts and a flash of wings, she vanished. Moments later, King Roland appeared in the doorway, his hiccups completely gone. He scooped Sophia into a hug. I'm so glad I can read again, he said, taking the book from her. Together, they settled onto a nearby couch as he began to read. His voice, though a bit rusty from disuse, was warm and strong. In the story, a young peasant girl dreamed of becoming. The peasant girl, too, felt like a princess, because being a prince or a princess wasn't just about having a title or living in a castle. It was about being kind, helpful, and true of heart. King Roland closed the book, his eyes twinkling. That was a lovely story, Sophia said, snuggling closer to him. Though she loved hearing about brave princesses and handsome princes, she liked the story because it reminded her of ever after high up in the royal library of Avalor, where sunbeams slanted through stained glass windows and motes of dust danced in the golden light, sat a young princess named Sophia. In her lap lay an open storybook, but its pages were blank. Sophia sighed. Every night for weeks, she'd looked forward to reading a bedtime story with her father, the king. But ever since he'd gotten a nasty case of the hiccups, he was too embarrassed to talk, let alone— "Oh, how I wish Papa would read me a story," she whispered, her voice echoing in the vast library. As if in answer to her wish, a book tumbled from a nearby shelf and landed at her feet. Startled, Sophia gazed at the leather-bound volume. Its cover shimmered with an otherworldly glow, and strange symbols spiraled around its clasp. Curiosity overcoming her fear, Sophia opened the book. Suddenly, swirling mists erupted.
Bouncy ball went boing boing boom, bouncing all around the room. It hit the wall and jumped up high, then soared and touched the ceiling sky. Down it flew past baby's toes, spinning fast and then it froze. Off again with zippy speed, rolling past a sleepy steed. They yawned and bounced outside across the lawn. It hopped on flowers, skipped along, jumped right over sleepy dog. Catch that ball, cried little Lou, it's heading for the neighbor's shoe. They ran and chased it down the street, the bouncing feet beneath their feet. Neighbors laughed to see it roll, zoom in like it had a goal. With a giant final leap, the ball came down and went to sleep. Now it rests on Teddy's bed. It bounced into a bowl of fruit, then out again in hot pursuit. It bumped the cat, who gave a yawn, then bounced outside across the lawn. It hopped on flowers, skipped along, jumped right over sleepy dog. Catch that ball, cried little Lou, it's heading for the neighbor's shoe. They ran and chased it down the street, the bouncing beat beneath their feet. Neighbors laughed to see it roll, zoom in like it had a goal.